Remember a few years ago when Martin Scorsese called all Marvel films theme park attractions? Yeah, that's this movie. The Haunted Mansion is directed by Justin Simieon and stars Lakeith Stanfield, Owen Wilson, Rosario Dawson, Danny DeVito, and many, many more. I actually worked on this film. I did one single day on this film. It's during the montage sequence when they first meet Danny DeVito at Tulane University. I was there on that campus. One of the scenes that I worked on for the day was actually entirely cut from the film, but the reality is that's how it goes sometimes. I gotta say though, being around the cast, specifically Danny DeVito, he is exactly what you would expect Danny DeVito to be in person. Just a funny guy. In between takes, he would sit around with the producers and crack jokes. So it's always encouraging when you're on set and you see these actors that you grew up watching and you get to see their real personality and what they're like behind the scenes. And it's always the best when they live up to those expectations. Danny DeVito and also Owen Wilson does as well. Owen Wilson is just standing under trees watching the leaves fall off, trying to catch them before they hit the ground. It's honestly quite charming. I'm just gonna come out and say this. This movie, it's not bad, but it's not good. Honestly, it's very generic. It doesn't seem to have a heart and a soul to it. In a lot of ways, it feels lifeless. I don't know what it is, but there's something about Disney right now. They just can't seem to create compelling stories. Fundamentally, at their core, they just feel so hollow and shallow, and they're not emotionally resonating. There are pieces to this project that feel very well executed and fleshed out, but on the flip side, the entirety of the film just falls flat. This is a star-studded cast. From Lakeith Stanfield to Owen Wilson, Danny DeVito, Rosario Dawson, Jamie Lee Curtis even has a supporting role in this film. There's a lot of star power in this film, and unfortunately, it feels underwhelming. And I gotta give blame, I think, to the writing of this story. There's nothing inherently wrong with the story itself. It's just so bland and the characters aren't interesting. Lakeith gives a very admirable performance throughout this movie. He is honestly the strongest performance in the film. And besides him and Chase Dillon, who plays the young boy Travis in the film, everyone else is forgettable. It really feels like Disney knew who they wanted to cast in this film and just wrote those people's personalities as the character, and there's nothing really unique. It's these actors stepping into these roles, but they are playing themselves. They feel like caricatures of themselves, and I don't think they're trying to hide that. The script in the film attempts to give Ben this emotional through line that he has to overcome throughout the course of the film, but it feels like it comes in and out of the story. At times you forget about the emotional stakes that he's dealing with. This movie is all about not allowing grief to overcome you and using the people around you in this life to help you overcome that grief and sense of loss. This film feels like it has a lot of potential, but it doesn't dive deep into its themes. It's very shallow, surface level in the exploration of its themes. I really believe buried deep within this script that there's a really strong and compelling story here. It just doesn't go the extra mile, which I think is a problem with a lot of the Disney live action remakes. They don't take enough risks, and we're left with a movie that feels like a shallow byproduct of its predecessor. You can go into this film and have a good time, but the reality is once you leave the theater, it leaves much to be desired. I do have to say that this film looks really good. The production design on the film and the sets that they built of the interior of the Haunted Mansion are really beautiful. And at times it feels like you're back in that classic Disney ride. And whether that's a good or bad thing is up for debate, but it's always fun and charming to see those callbacks in a film like this. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, the Haunted Mansion just commits one of the biggest cinema sins in my opinion, being forgettable. It's not bad, it's not great, it's just somewhere in this weird middle area. You can definitely bring your family out to this and get 2 hours of enjoyment and entertainment, but it's not gonna leave you with anything beyond that. So guys, what did you think of the Haunted Mansion? Did you like it? Did you not? Did you like the 2003 Haunted Mansion better than this one? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like these movie reviews, make sure to subscribe to Dude Reacts and The Fellow Dude on YouTube. Until next time guys, see you then.